Hey guys, it's Teacher Heather with VIP Kid. I actually have a couple friends that are applying to work for the company, and so I thought I would go ahead and just make a video because there are some questions that I can answer by talking probably a lot better than typing emails or text messages. Also, just so you guys know, Alexander is here with me while I'm recording the video, so if you hear toys in the background, that's what's going on. So I wanted to start with, of course, the first step in the process is to get your application done. The application is all online. It's pretty simple, fairly straightforward and easy. And then after that, you have to schedule your interview. It's typically within a 2 to 3 day span that they want you to get your interview done. And they want you to do the interview quickly because they don't want people to just apply and then never actually do their interviews. So after that, you will get yourself ready for your interview. To do that, you should have a background, something simple. As you can see, this is my most simple background that I've done. It's worked well. You need to have your name visible. This little magnetic board came from Dollar Tree, $1. I printed a picture of our mascot, Dino, and I do all my rewards on this little magnetic board. Works really well, actually. I'll show you a couple rewards here in a few minutes. And then you just kind of want to have a space ready for that, but they will be looking for your name and a place to have your secondary reward. All people who do their interview, the first interview, is always about feelings. So again, at Dollar Tree, I got one of these calendars that has all of the different emojis, and I actually use these emojis every single day in my classes. So I just cut them out. They're on the back of these calendar pages, and I hold them right up for the kids for every part of my lessons. We use the sleepy emoji a lot too. But there's happy, there's sad, there's some angry emojis as well. So it's a really great kit to have for you. And you won't just use it during your interview. I do use it every single day. Um, you will be using proper pronunciation for phonics also during the lesson. So what they want you to do is focus really hard on the actual sound that each letter makes, not saying buh, buh. It's buh, buh, because that's the actual sound. And so you would blend it buh, ed, bed, instead of saying buh, buh, and then so they just want your pronunciation to be clear and succinct with that. And I can do another video to talk about the pronunciation if people need more clarification there. Also for your lesson at Dollar Tree, these little alphabet cards, I do use them a lot with my younger students. Once you get into the older students' lessons, you won't use them quite as much. But it's also great because then you have some props that you could use too if you needed a picture of an apple. And then I also, at Dollar Tree, got one of those little containers of fruit. And I use apple a lot and banana. And then over time, you can add to your props. But that's kind of like a good starting point is to make sure that you have letters, you have your emojis, maybe some fruit, just because then you can use some colors too. Like you could use the purple grapes, the yellow banana if you needed to reference a color. With your interview, you will need to have a secondary reward. Another thing, it's easy, is feed Dino. So you want to feed Dino some meat. Great job. Awesome work. And there's Dino's meat. Now Dino gets some pizza. Do you like to eat pizza? Yeah. I love to eat pizza. Great job. So something like that. Since you're doing a 10-minute video or 10-minute interview process class with your interviewer, you want to make sure that you give a reward at least every other slide, probably every slide. And then I just have my little stars attached to a popsicle stick. You get 1 star. Great job. Nice work, Leo. Something like that. My interviewer's name was Leo, and so now anytime I do a video, I always talk to Leo as my fake kid. For the background, Again, something simple, don't go over the top, but just have something that kind of shows that you put forth some effort. So you want to make sure that maybe you include something that says VIP kid. They won't expect you to have Dino, but anything that you could do to reference the company would be great. Like I have my 5 stars floating across the top with some little pom poms, something pretty simple like that. Then, once you have gone through your full interview, at the very end of the interview, they will ask you what pay range you would like to have. So don't be afraid to say that you want to be put at the higher end, especially if you have experience with kids, if you have ESL certifications, anything of that nature. If you have a teaching certificate, definitely ask to be on the higher end. Typically, they will give the range of $8 a class to $8.50 a class. But then they also have ways that you can make more money each class, that makes it so you can get between $20 and $22 typically per hour working. Each lesson that you teach with a kid is 25 minutes in real life, and then you have 5 minutes between classes to do your feedback, to tell the parents how the kid did in class. And I'll go through a way of talking about feedback once you make it through the interview process. It's really simple, not hard at all. After you get your interview complete, talk about your pay, they will go ahead and say, oh, well, you're hired. And so then you'll get access to the teacher portal. In the teacher portal, you can watch some videos of VIP Kid ambassadors that go through and talk to you about using proper pronunciation, making sure to have your props so that your kids know how to go through the lesson, or maybe even having a puppet or a stuffed animal. If your kid is not talking back, you could say, my name is Teacher Heather. What's your name? My name is Dino. What's your name? So these are, they'll give you some more educational pieces so that you can make sure to be very successful in the next step, which is a mock class. Everyone does at least one mock class. This is just to make sure you've already done your interview. They want to see that you are going to consistently teach your classes well. So not just hire you one time and then never see you again. They want to make sure that you can carry it through to a different topic. So at that point, you will have a lesson that involves talking about the letter P or the letter Q. You can kind of choose between that. And they just want to see that you can do it again in a different setting. After that mock class, that's it. You set up your profile and you are ready to teach. And setting up your profile, you make a little video, a short clip like this. I think it's 15 to 30 seconds to just introduce yourself. And you answer some questions about your educational background. And then you write a little ditty about, hi, I'm Teacher Heather. I live in America with my son and my 2 dogs and husband, blah, blah, blah. And I'll make sure to show you guys how to get through that as well. And then you start just scheduling yourself classes, what times that you are available. The last thing that I really should talk to you about is that when you start setting your availability, it takes a little while to get bookings from these parents. I have tips and tricks to make sure that you can get booked faster. It took me, I think, 16 or 17 days to get my first class, and I just did some behind the scenes work that makes it so that parents start to find me in the 70,000 teachers that we have, and I can make sure to tell you all the tips that I use for that. My other friend that just finished her interview process actually got booked in 8 days. So from the time she started her interviewed, passed. She went and did her her first mock class. They didn't require a second for her, so she passed the mock class, got her profile set up in a day, and I showed her an app that made the video pretty easy. And then By the time she went through the first booking session, she already got booked. So it was only 8 days total from start to the first class for her. So I think that with these tips and tricks that I have, I can make sure to get everybody that I know um, booked pretty quickly because they want good quality teachers. And if you already have teaching experience, that makes it even better. Some of these people that are applying have never taught. They've done maybe one-on-one tutoring, but if you actually have a teaching certificate, you are going to be good to go. So, I think that's all that I'm going to put into this video. There can be a lot of things that are going to come up along the way. So I'll try to keep them about 10 minutes so that it's not too overwhelming all at once. But you did a great job today, Leo. Here's your hamburger. Do you like to eat hamburgers? That's excellent. So does Dino. Great job. Just make sure you reward your students all along the way and be sure to use your props to make sure that you are explaining happy. I feel happy. All right. Well, we will see you next time. Can you say bye, Alexander? Say bye. Goodbye. And I always, when I finish my lessons with my kids, I always do my little heart hands. See you next time. Goodbye.